Sweetie, you need to stop digging around back there. What are you even doing? How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Blue Shifting, and welcome back to Sunrider. Probably the end of Sunrider. I don't know. I just can't imagine it having much longer, so I think we'll probably end up covering it for today. But we'll see. I've been surprised before. I actually have to make a quick introduction, so hold a second because she happens to be close by, so I'll grab her real quick. This is our new addition to our family. This is Princess. Yeah, I know, great name, huh? Oh, okay, here you go. Anyway, you didn't come here for cat stories. You came here for Sunrider because we flippin' are about to die. We've killed the Nightmare Ascendant. Asaga did, technically, and she is definitely critically wounded. But in a last-ditch effort, I guess, the Nightmare Ascendant... Oh yeah, she's not quite dead yet. We thought she was dead, but Asaga's taken down. My hair's going crazy. And the Nightmare Ascendant charged and rammed our ship. And that's where we are now, so let's get right back to it. And forgive me, I still got my cold, so here we go. Ava threw herself on top of Sheilds. The two pressed themselves against the ground as the entire ship tumbled from the force of the collision. That would be the craziest thing about space. It's like, you think about something smashing into it, it's like, oh, bulkhead shake or whatever. But in space, you know, that would be angular momentum that would be impacted and limited onto the ship. If the ship stabilizers don't kick in, we literally would be doing corkscrews. And since we have artificial gravity, I guess it wouldn't be too bad unless you looked out a port window or something. But I guess the real danger would be crashing into something else. Since, if I remember correctly, we flew in close to some other ships in order to get some flak cover. So, let's see what happens. The hull around the bridge bent, sparks exploding in every direction as power cords snapped. Vapor shot out and covered the bridge as pipes shattered from the force of the impact. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Instruments hidden inside the walls blew in fireballs, sending wall panels flying. The crew burst open the emergency lockers and grabbed fire extinguishers to combat the flames. Report! The Nightmare Ascendant has crashed near engineering. All systems are catastrophically damaged. The reactor core's cooling systems have been destroyed. If we do not restore auxiliary systems within 10 minutes, we will have a full-scale meltdown on our hands. Order engineering to fix the reactor double time. Unfortunately, we've lost all contact with engineering. Crap. Captain, intruder alert! Oh crap, she got on the ship! What? Security footage of the Ascendant's cockpit opening and Alice entering the twisted hull of the ship inside the environmental suit appeared on the main screen. Crap, she's heading straight to engineering. Alert security, stop her! Sir! Oh boy. Meanwhile, the future Kayto Sheilds pushed through the burning corridor to get to engineering. The injured and dead were strewn throughout the floor. We had no choice but to march on and complete his mission. The prototype gets out of the reactor core and there's a game over. He finally arrived at the burning engineering hall. Vapor streamed out from all over a dozen broken pipes and flames licked the walls. It doesn't seem like it matters much. At his feet were the bullet-ridden bodies of half a dozen Marines. Crap. It was too late. He ducked for cover seconds before a stream of bullets riddled his position. Alice's voice echoed through the engineering. You're too late, Sheilds. Once the reactor melts down, you will die. And with that, this timeline shall revert to its original chronology. I don't know how you got the Wanderer to help you, but even if she is not infallible, just as I thwarted her plans in your timeline, I shall thwart her here yet again. Surrender, prototype! You know that if you die and the original timeline is restored, this is for your own good too. Huh. Death means nothing to a walking corpse such as I. Alice opened fire once more, pinning Sheilds down. Dang it. He drew his pistol. Gauging from the sound of her weapon, Sheilds surmised she had been commandeered one of the Marines' rifles. In other words, he was outmatched in terms of firepower. But she's still wearing nothing but her plug suit? I guess plug suit? All it takes is one good shot to bring her down. Now hold on, I can figure out where she's hiding. Well, what are we wearing? I doubt it's much more. Sheilds kept talking, trying to use the prototype's voice to discern her position. Your fleet's defeated, and Fontana has control of Pact now. What do you have to gain by triggering total war between Alliance and Fontana forces? All that'll happen is the destruction of all you worked for. All that I've worked for? Haha! Do not think for a moment that I have any notions of ruling the galaxy as Vizikar, Empress, or some other meaningless title. I have no intention of raising your worms from your wretched existence. All I sought was the doom you knew for your species. Good, keep talking. She's over there. Sheilds popped from cover and unloaded his pistol into a shadowed catwalk. Sparks flew as the already damaged support fell apart, bringing the elevated path crashing down into a slope. Ah! Alice rolled down the collapsed catwalk, losing her grasp on her rifle. Sheilds used the opportunity to charge her position. He aimed his pistol and pulled the trigger, but received a feeble click out of ammo. Well, great! I know it's stressful, man, but count your shots! In frustration, he tossed the pistol aside and bull rushed into Alice just as she got back to her feet. Unexpectedly, excruciating pain shot down his spine. Oh, that's not good. That sounded like a lightsaber. Ah! He ran his head first into what felt like solid steel. He looked up in time to see an energy barrier flick in front of Alice. Fool! Sheilds mustered his strength and delivered a round of punches into Alice's chest, but his fist bounced off the energy field surrounding Alice. Well, that's inconvenient. With a single oh, that didn't sound good. With a single backhand, Alice knocked Sheilds down to the floor, driving an explosion of blue sparks into his jaws. Sheilds spat blood from his mouth. Ugh. Did you think I would come here without a personal shield? Alice stepped on his prone body. Sparks of energy shot from her heels and dug into Sheilds' ribs. Ah! Sheilds could only howl helplessly as his flesh was sheared off. Ooh. Ooh! Oh, that's not good. He desperately looked at the Sunrise reactor. A stream was pouring up from the sides as the remaining coolant rapidly evaporated. If he did not defeat Alice within minutes, the reactor would melt down and completely destroy the ship. I won't kill you yet, Sheilds. I want you to be there with me when the ship's reactor finally blows. We'll die together, I guess. Something like that. Something evil with my evil voice. The reactor side panel burst in an explosion of vapor, ruffling Alice's hair. Ah, dramatic. How I long have waited for this moment to finally sink into the black void of death. I know I shall never see him where I am heading, but know that I, Alice Ashada, have saved the galaxy from humanity. Like a festering nest of roaches, humanity will breed until it has consumed the galaxy. Then you will eat each other until nations fall as civilians end. Humanity is but a sea of moaning naked bodies. Ugh, gross. Wretched and poor. When one dares to rise above the crowd to bring about everyone's salvation, it will not be the rich and powerful in their ivory towers who bring about the hero's downfall, but the very masses the heroes sought to liberate. For the wretched cannot bear to see one of them rising above them, for that only reminds them that they are pitiful, pathetic scum. They would rather keep festering in their holes than be saved one day. One day you too will be betrayed, Sheilds, by the very galaxy you sought to protect. No. Even then, heroes must be born. The masses may turn against us, but within that crowd, there will always be one who cheers us on whenever this happens. When the final reverse of his strength, Sheilds delivered a kick to Alice's gut, knocking her off balance. He shoved her off and rolled to his feet. Alice drew her saber and came at him. Sheilds, you must have a death wish. Before she could reach him, a bullet impacted against Alice's energy barrier. Come on, who is it? Come on. Akari? Ava? Ava, yes! Kayto! Ava ran to engineering, a pistol in hand. Is that you, kitty? Sheilds used the opening to scramble into cover, while Alice ducked back to grab her rifle. Ava and Sheilds pressed themselves against the workstation as Alice returned fire. Where's the rest of security? Already did all dispatched. The rest are tied up below deck. Ava handed Sheilds a fresh pistol. I'll take her. You've got to activate the auxiliary cooling system. Alright. Ava popped out of cover and peppered Alice's shields with bullets as Sheilds ran towards the reactor's controls. Useless. But the personal shield active, Ava's shots only bounced harmlessly off Alice. Bullets ricocheted against the floor as Alice opened fire on Sheilds. He rolled away into an adjacent room, unable to reach the completely exposed reactor's console. How convenient again. No good! Ava slipped her now empty clip out and reloaded. However, she would need heavier weaponry to cut through Alice's barrier. Alice merely paced towards Ava as she popped out more rounds. A sadistic sneer slid across Alice's face as the barrier deflected all of Ava's shots. Alice wrapped her hands around Ava's throat and lifted her off her feet. How is that possible? Ava's way taller than she is. Oh, fetch. That's not good. Ooh, that's not good. Sparks flew from Alice's hands as her barrier crushed Ava's throat. Ava! Pathetic. Is that all you want? Alice tossed Ava to the floor like a rag doll. She stomped on Ava's back with her plug suit's padded soles. Oh, no, don't do that to her. You. Sheilds brought down a pipe on Alice's head, sending her saber clattering to the floor. Really gotta cut down on the speeches. The pipe crashed against the energy shield, sending feedbacks jolting through his arm, but Sheilds mustered his strength. He wrapped himself around Alice, putting her into a sleeper hold as her energy barrier sheared through his uniform and flesh. The two of them struggled as Sheilds dragged her towards a flaming hot reactor core. Ooh. Oh, I know where this is going. You! Sheilds squeezed his eyes shut. He would drop Alice into the reactor shaft, even if he had to fall with her himself. This would be the only way he could finally defeat Alice and save the future. If his life was the price to pay to save everyone, then he would gladly sacrifice himself. Once this is all over, the timeline's going to be fixed anyways. I'll just return to being a ship's captain, so it's no big loss. Behind him, Ava raised her hand and gasped desperately as Sheilds lifted Alice off her feet. I'm sorry, Ava, but I'll see you in the next universe. Ah! The reactor burst into a column of blue flames behind them, the outer panels melting away in the extreme heat. This would be their funeral pyre. The two of them arrived at the edge of the shaft beyond the safety rail as the sheer drop into a furnace of hellfire. Shields! He gritted his teeth and took another step towards the sea of fire, his arms wrapped around Alice. This would be the end. Sorry about this, but... Suddenly excruciating pain cut through his back. Ah! Shields dropped to his knees in disbelief. What? Chigara! Fetch! I thought about it right when we started, but I didn't say anything. I knew it. His consciousness began to slip away as he realized that there was a combat dagger stuck in his back. No. Chigara. Alice roared triumphantly. I have won, Sheilds! She pounded her chest. Even in this universe, my little doll proved to be your undoing. Ironic, isn't it? For you have not come so far and accomplished so much, only to fall into the same manner. Sheilds collapsed to the floor, where Chigara violently pulled the dagger from his back, tearing out muscle and blood. Oh, gosh. Oh, is it not good, man? What the heck? I thought this was a movie. Oh, gosh. He saw Chigara's empty face hovering above him. That's not Chigara's face. She used to smile so gently. Now, my doll, kill him. Chigara. A wicked grin slashed apart Chigara's face as she thrust a dagger downwards. Oh, fetch! Sheilds opened his eyes and realized that Chigara's other arm had stopped the arm holding the dagger from penetrating his chest. Oh, that would be the craziest thing ever, just like stabbing it, like, no! For but a flicker, lucidity returned to her eyes. Now's your chance! Get her, Captain! Sheilds tore the dagger from Chigara's hand and dug into Alice's gut with all his might. Electricity surged through his entire body as the dagger cut into her shields, and at last the barrier shattered to pieces. That's right, Alice. Take it where it hurts. Alice's face froze in shock as Sheilds repeatedly jabbed the dagger into her belly, forming a dozen new slots in her... Ooh, that's not a pleasant place. I think it's time you died a second time. With that, he kicked her down the Sunrider's reactor shaft. For a second. Shush you. She's climbing and all that stuff here. For a second, Alice floated in midair. At last, this nightmare ends. Arcadius, if only we could have died together. A second passed and Alice fell down the shaft. Chigara covered Sheilds' body as Alice's body erupted in an enormous pillar of fire. The stench of burning flesh filled the room. Hey, you. Hey, stop it. Stop it. Climbing on my books. That's not good for them, you know. Chigara, the reactor. Understood. Chigara scrambled to the controls and fiercely inputted commands. Streams of foam shot in every direction, lading the reactor in coolant. The flames around the reactor hissed and eventually fizzled out. That was really loud. With a long sigh of relief, Chigara collapsed to the floor. Sheilds crawled over to Ava. Despite being covered with wounds, she nodded and gave a thumbs up. Oh, she's alive. Ava. He wrapped his arms around her. We did it. I'm bleeding horrifically. I need the doctor quickly. Oh, there we go. Like I prophesied it. Just then, all Claude burst into engineering, escorted by ship security. Ooh, Captain! Despite their injuries, the two of them struggled to their feet. With grins on their blood-stained faces, Sheilds and Ava waved. Soon they were both on stretchers, while ship security detained Chigara, who had already surrendered peacefully. With Alice dead and Chigara never having entered the mind stream, there was no risk of Alice's ghost ever reasserting control over her again. Well, that is nice, except, it has some complications if you, because considering, I don't know, it's gonna be awkward. Oh my gosh, we didn't die. The crew rushed to contain the damage in engineering as Sheilds was ferried towards sick bay. Between the moving bodies of the crew, we saw a familiar-looking locket of pink hair. Looks like you pulled it off, Captain. Second Claude watched the events unfold from the shadows. I guess this is the end. If you ever need me, you know where to find me. But a blink later, she completely vanished from the universe. And the universe imploded and reasserts itself. Sheilds closed his eyes. The past had been rewritten. The future had been saved. The Liberation Day massacre was averted. The world began to fade to white as the laws of causality reconfigured the universe based on what he had accomplished. In the universe which will be created, the Sunrider would emerge triumphant during the Battle of Sarah. Chigara, the prototype spy, would be apprehended safely, and Sheilds would have prevented an intergalactic war between Alliance and Pact. Not bad for a day's work. Next time, let's try and get it right the first time around. I agree. Yay! We found another ending, and this is like the ending. Now, obviously, it's not the end. We've got the epilogue, so stick around for that in a second. Alright, and here we are. Oh. Okay, kitty. Sheilds knelt before Moray's grave. At long last, he'd put her soul to rest up in that mountain of their childhoods. It hurts still every time. Beside him, Ava lay a bouquet of flowers next to the headstone marking her father's final resting place. Moray, I'm sorry. You were so proud to hear I'd finally become a captain. You told all your friends I would protect Sarah the instant you found out. But I let you down. I let everyone down. Ever since that day, I swore to myself I would come back here, that I would take back what we lost that day. And after so many trials, here I am, finally home. Kayto. Ray put her hand on his shoulder. You never had to blame yourself. Upon hearing her voice, tears dripped down his eyes. Ever since you told me you were going to follow Ava, I knew you could do it. I knew you could become the biggest space captain there ever was and win against impossible odds. I'm not sad I came to see you off that day. Even though I would still be alive, I wouldn't be able to call myself your sister if I missed a thing like that. Don't worry about me. Now, I can watch over you from this mountain. No matter where you go, I'll look up to the night skies and find you somewhere amongst the stars. This hurts my soul. Sucks. That's really sweet. I know. You will always be the mightiest captain who ever lived, who will defeat the biggest villains and save the galaxy over and over because you're my big brother, Kayto. You could do anything. You never let me down, not even once. Ray. Sheilds gripped his fist and sobbed into her grave. I swear, I'll never betray your trust. For as long as I live, I'll defend everyone. No matter what may face me, no matter the odds, I'll fight on. So that I can return here and keep you company. I'll tell your stories of adventures, of narrow escapes and victories snatched from the jaws of defeat. You'll be on the edge of your seat every time. Marie, your brother's gonna keep fighting. Sarah's not safe yet. There's more work to do. I'm not ready to quit being Captain Kayto Sheilds. Not yet. I'm going to return to space, and this time I'll be leaving you here. I'll keep watch from this mountain. Good luck, Kayto, and have a safe trip. Yeah, of course. Nobody's gonna nobody's gonna take you down, big brother. Oh, nobody's gonna take down your big brother. I read it in the wrong voice, dang it. With that, Marie's apparition slowly faded away. She wrapped her arms around Kato's head. I love big brother. Keep us all safe, okay? Yeah. It's a promise. Ah, it sucks. Marie vanished in the fall wind. The leaves in the forest rustled as her spirit echoed through the mountains before finally dispersing into the great beyond. Instead of lamenting her final disappearance, Sheilds stood with a tear-soaked grin. I'll be back, Marie. Kayto, are you ready? Yeah. How things go on your end? My father always was a man of few words. I am sure he would merely nod and accept my return if he were still alive. But perhaps deep underneath his cool and rational exterior, he would be pleased to see me return alive, my mission a success. I may even venture as to say he might feel a tinge of pride in his old heart. I'm sure he would, Ava. I'm sure he would. I'm making an idiot of myself now. No. You take after him in many ways. And I can tell from your smile right now, he would definitely be overjoyed as well. I must have gone soft, no thanks to your influence. Well, never hurts to smile every now and then. Heard it helps offset the effects of aging. Captain? From the mountain they could see that most of Sarah City was an enormous crater. God, how horrible would that be? Even knowing, like, that's what you would find. It's like, that was still horrible. It'd suck so bad. The Legion's attack had borrowed a scar into their beautiful city, one that may never forget. But reconstruction efforts were already underway. The Alliance had already brought money, workers, and resources to restore the city, while Fontana had likewise pledged to make amends for Pac's wanton actions. Sheilds looked at the remains of the city he once called home. There was still work to do, but for the first time in his life he felt victorious. Not a fleeting sense of accomplishment after winning a small skirmish, but an overwhelming sense of having won something important. It resounded through his entire body, giving him strength. With that, the two of them hiked back down the mountain. The sun set over Sarah National Park. The Liberation Day celebration had just ended. It was a grand affair, where Admiral Grey took the stage to commend the fighting spirit of Sarah's only surviving assault carrier, and presented Kayto Sheilds and the Feraldian. There it is! Jeez! With a Feraldian cross. There were parades, a full orchestra, as well as enough Alliance and Pact dignitaries to last a lifetime. In reality, Kayto Sheilds did not care too much about receiving honors or trying to influence and befriend powerful Alliance figures. Instead, his only thoughts were about... Aw, Captain, please do not stare at me with those eyes. I'm sorry, Ava, they're the only ones I've got. Ava? Can you not see that we are surrounded by the most powerful men and women in the Alliance right now, and under the lens of virtually every galaxy's press corps? If word got out about our relationship, our reputations would surely be dragged through the mud every bit of tabloid from Solaris to New Eden. Don't worry too much. It's not like Command could fire me at this point. Captain, you're far too lackadaisical. I think it's lackadaisical about this whole affair. Even your uniform is wrinkled. Oh boy. Ava did her best to straighten his jacket. This is how the galaxy's going to see Captain Kayto Sheilds? I'm not interested in presentation. I'm afraid I'm just here to get the job done. Ava sighed hopelessness. Yes, Captain, I am painfully aware of that fact. To the end. Kayto is just, I don't care for pomp and circumstance. Despite the old universe being destroyed, Ava and Sheild's feelings for each other remained. Even if they ruffled each other's feathers from time to time, Ava would always stand watch over the captain, ever the loyal advisor and partner. In a way, the two of them were destined from the beginning to stay up together. A partnership where each one covered for the other. Standing alone, neither Sheilds nor Ava could be described as perfect, but together they formed a complementary whole. In the end, they were respectively the father and mother of the Sunrider. That's kind of cool, actually. You know, Ava, one time I thought about settling down on Sarah after all this was over. Just living the rest of my life out in peaceful retirement, far away from danger. But do you suppose we could ever do that? Captain, my place is on board the Sunrider. I was never too attached to this place. All it brings me are memories of my childhood. I can hardly remember my mother, but ever since she left, I remembered a desolate household, and a father who I don't know if that's the right word, it looks like it's not supposed to be there, but never desired to show a moment of affection during the few times a year when he was home. In fact, I quite enjoy the thought of traveling the galaxy. I'd rather not sink my roots too deep anywhere. I see. Sheilds looked at the damaged skyline for the city. Many of the buildings he remembered were now demolished and replaced with structural struts as reconstruction work commenced. I've always wanted to return to this place, but I guess home will always be where your family lives. There's nothing more for me to do here. I've concluded my business here. I think it's time for me to return to space too. There's still a lot we have left to accomplish together. What say we continue as Captain and XO, no? As partners. Sir. Ava began to salute but caught herself. I didn't mean it like that, Ava. Oh, ooh, subtle, subtle. Not really. I've always loved you. I want to stay by your side. Wherever you are, we'll always be home now. You're all I have left. No, that is far from the truth. Ava turned to where the crew of the Sunrider were chatting at the banquet table. We have them now. Sheilds looked at the girls he had gathered from across the galaxy. It's so true! Asaga was busy trying to get Sola to socialize with the others, filling her plate with more food than she could eat. Oh, hope Asaga takes this okay. Akari and Kriska were already busy arguing about Alliance Rider equipment. Meanwhile, it looked like Claude was being eye-ogled by a circle of impatient Alliance men. Seriously, what was she doing, chatting up with those guys? Did she have some kind of geezer fetish? Well, she's also freaking old herself. You're right. Sheilds put his arm around Ava. We'll protect them together, our crew. Oh, she just blushed. Uh-oh. Let's return to our home. Yes, Kayto. A doubt crept into Ava's heart. Did she truly love the man called Kayto Sheilds? Oh, that sucks. Was she capable of loving someone at all? Or was she a calculating machine, capable of only crunching numbers and deducing detached conclusions from the core hard data? That's not true. Not even close. She knew that one day Shield's feelings for her would prove his downfall, and she would have to be there to save him when that day came. She made a resolution deep in her heart that she would always protect Sheilds, even from himself, and to do that she could not let his love for her blind him for what had to be done. I will always be your XO above everything else. It's kind of sad. Aw, man, that's not what I want! Ava, I don't know if you can really understand what's going on in your head, because you obviously care a lot about things. And, like, you definitely have emotions, despite the fact that you hide them like a Vulcan. Perhaps that is the best gift I could give you. My days here were empty, devoid of color, merely an endless repetition of the same pointless movements. Save for one thing. The sound of your laugh. Whenever I was frustrated, it would drive me up the wall, but it was what got me through those times. In the end, it was You. What? Did you say something, Ava? No. I was merely murmuring to myself. Please disregard my sudden flight of fancy. In any matter, let us not stand here by our lonesome. We have much work to do, no? I personally intend to speak with the Alliance Financial Minister so that we can acquire more funding for the reconstruction efforts. At the man of the hour, I fully expect you to do the same, Captain. Well, Ava, you know I'm not good at stuff like that. No buts, Captain. The security of Sarah is at stake here. Understood. Jeez. Just keep it a straight lace, though. With that, Ava pushed Sheilds away. Despite that, he secretly smiled to himself. He still remembered the look on Ava's face that night when they... Well, it was certainly not the look of a woman with no sexual appetite for him. Oh dear, oh dear. I wonder if we skipped it because it was not in the censored version. So, FYI, if you have this game, there is an uncensored version. You can download for free. Just follow the website. They have the patch for you and everything. Obviously, not YouTube friendly. And honestly, it's not important, which is what I love about it, honestly. Some people get kind of up and antsy about, oh, you have to download a patch. I choked my words there because I've got cold. But, in my opinion, I think it's perfect because it shows that they wrote the story first and then had the extra stuff there for, you know, fun, I suppose, for like whoever that appeals to, whoever finds that interesting. But I thoroughly enjoyed the game without it. There's a lot of games out there that sadly, that's like the whole point of the game. And I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I've always been disappointed by those because there's no story. It's all about fan service. This one is story with fan service additionally if you want it. So, let's see. No matter how cold she acted towards him, Sheilds knew that she wanted him with all her heart. What a complicated woman. Oh well, I'm sure this will sort itself out eventually. Yeah, I hope so, man. 1 month later. After a much-deserved period of R&R, Sheilds had finally returned to his trusty ship. Honestly, I wouldn't leave the Sunrider either. Man, I don't think I could. While his days on Sarah went by in a flash, in the end, Sheilds could not rest easy until he had returned to what had become his new home. And on top of that, Sheilds had managed to transfer a certain prisoner to his ship, ostensibly for field counterintelligence purposes. He pressed the intercom and spoke with Chigara. Captain. Chigara. I'm sorry about the small cell. We're actually trying to build you a better one as we speak. For now, please bear with it. Don't worry, it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, Chigara is who's sorry for everything. I know you had no reason to believe me, and I don't expect you to ever forgive me for what I've done. But I never knew myself that the prototypes had planted me on board the ship. All this time, I thought I was the sole survivor of the dialed catastrophe, and that I was the ship's chief engineer. But it looked like I was fooled too, wasn't I? Chigara was just a fool all the time, playing right into the prototype's plans. I wouldn't be surprised if the captain hates me now. No. You're just a victim in this too, Chigara. You never knew what the prototypes were planning either. You were just an unwitting pawn. Honestly, I'd be damned glad if they'd set you up as chief engineer again. But as long as the alpha prototype still lives, she can assume control of your body, so we can't let you out. Not yet. Not until we finally found the alpha and destroyed her. Then, you'll be free again. I promise. I'll get you out of that cell, Chigara, and we'll make sure the prototypes never take control of your body ever again. You have my word. I see the captain certainly has not lost his touch. Huh? Chigara's happy to hear that. But please, do not make Ava too jealous, okay? Huh? In the end, I hurt you, Captain. I don't mind you finding someone else. Oh, that's really sad. As long as the captain pays her some visits from time to time, okay? Yeah, let me know if you need anything. Understood. She took that rather well. I don't know if that's entirely the truth. Oh, remember what I said about fan service? I imagine we're going to be getting the edited version up here right now. I honestly thought they'd skipped it entirely, but I can't think of anything else they'd be doing. So, buckle up. Sheilds entered his old office. He had spent countless hours in here, agonizing over plans to lead a one-ship war against Pact to liberate Sarah. After every victory, he felt as if he stood on top of the world. He had somehow won against an overwhelming enemy. While some nights the weight of commanding the ship crushed down his back, he would realize the futility of his mission and despair would most likely never survive to see the liberated Sarah. Now that his mission had been accomplished, he felt surreal walking through all the memories he had in his office. His thoughts were interrupted by an unexpected noise. Aww! It's a little dog! What the? Someone had placed a basket beside his desk. A dog popped its head out from the top and panted friendly at Sheilds. Well, what do we have here? As if on cue, Ava slipped inside the office. Ahem. Hey, Ava, are you the one behind this? Indeed, Captain. She straightened herself. In light of recent events, I thought animal companionship may keep your nerves smooth during our next voyage. Aw, that's adorable! As such, I've arranged for the transfer of, a K9 unit to serve aboard the ship. Well, you definitely know me too well. In fact, I used to have a dog which looked just like him. Don't you remember? I recall him quite well. I hope his protege provides as reliable as Fleet Admiral. I knew it was Fleet Admiral. That's awesome. Well, hell. Hardly a day on board the ship and the darn mutt already outranks me. Shields shook his head and delivered a salute to his new pet. Captain Kayto Sheild at your service, Admiral. Yes, that's awesome. He gave Admiral a scratch behind his ears and turned to Ava. Well then, Commander. Shall we get underway? Okay, guess not. We got a dog. Shields and Ava strode into the bridge of the Sunrider. What's the situation? 3 days ago, Pact forces raided an Alpha Prototype's cloning facility at Diode, but by then it was already abandoned. Her current whereabouts are unknown. Our primary objective is the capture and destruction of the final leader of the prototypes. Not only that, but we are needed for an urgent mission from the Alliance. Entire colonies have begun to vanish into the Miasmin Abyss. We are to join a combined Alliance Pact investigatory fleet to find out what's going on. Much better chance this time around. The real ending made me really scared. I know the plot line. Obviously, an alien race from another galaxy intends to destroy all humanity before we get all powerful and destroy ourselves or something. Captain, please refrain from unnecessary speculation. Besides, the idea makes no sense whatsoever. More likely, it's pirate raiding colonies and nothing more. Ah, Ava, when will you ever learn? Wherever the Sunrider goes, there will never be a dull moment. Ava face palmed. Oh, unbelievable. Get us underway, Commander. Understood. Helmsman, 1/10 impulse. Ease us out of port? Shields took one last look at Sarah at the main view screen. This was his home he had liberated with his own hands. No, not merely by his hands. He had help from men and women across the galaxy in accomplishing his mission. No matter how difficult the next voyage, he swore he would come back and see it again. We are about to test our systems by launching all riders and making one lap around the moon before entering warp. Ah, that sounds familiar. Sounds good, girls? Blackjack, ready to go! Let's get this out of the way. Sir, it is my privilege to continue serving your Alliance Liaison Officer. Standing by. Captain, you can order me to do anything. Liberty is standing by. A female voice he had never heard before sounded through the comm. Huh? Who's that? Captain, Command has transferred a new pilot to our wing that now Chigara is our prisoner. Not only that, but she will serve as the ship's new chief engineer going forward. All this should have been in a report I left on your desk a week ago. Of course I didn't read it. Ah. Ava stared daggers into Shield's face. I must have missed that one. Meanwhile, in the hangar, the new girl's voice sounded through Asaga's comm. It is my greatest honor to serve under the world-famous Sunrider Valkyrie Squadron. While I am still inexperienced, please take good care of me. Huh? I never knew I had a nickname like that. Huh, fitting though, isn't it? Alright, Rook, first things first. The captain's already taken, so give up on your dreams of becoming his sweetheart. Excuse me? I never... Precisely at that moment, the linear rail activating flung the Liberty out to the hangar. Ah! Welcome aboard the team. That was kind of cute. Captain, all our riders have launched. Shields stood at the front of the bridge, his eyes gazing over the vast sea of stars before him. Who knew what adventures awaited him out there? The Sunrider proudly sailed out of Sarah, her riders flying in front of her. While Shields had given his all to return home, he knew his destiny laid amongst the stars, fighting against impossible odds to save the galaxy from every manner of doom. As long as villains existed in the galaxy, Shields and his girls would fight to stop them. He grinned. Set course for our greatest adventure yet. Aww. Yay, we got the happy ending, yes! And we missed the hentai altogether. So, that was Sunrider Liberation Day, and that's all we're going to cover for this one. My gosh, I loved that. I can't wait to do all the other endings. But, like always, I'm not going to show them all to you, because then there'll be nothing for you to explore on your own. And plus, all the other options out there that if you want to explore, like the full game, I don't want to spoil anything for you either. But you know what? This has been a fantastic series. I was so blown away. I had no clue that they actually had another game that they're going to be planning to do later. I really, 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 really hope it actually becomes a thing, which I'm guessing it will, because this series has been pretty successful. So, we'll keep an eye out for that. I guarantee you, if it comes out, we will play it. Assuming I'm still doing YouTube. I better be, dang it. I love this stuff so much. But thank you for being a part of the series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to see all the things you wanted to see. I want to know who's best girl for you. Like, which story should I go for first as far as happy endings go? I'd really love to explore them, and you know, I'll take any recommendations I can get. You know, if you're coming to this long after it's been ended, and you're just kind of enjoying yourself going through the series, or maybe catching up and getting ready for my next playthrough of the next game, you know what? Thank you so much for being here. I'm just really proud of the thing we built together here on this channel, the community, and the people we get to converse with. And I think some of you, the ones who found my channel, who started interacting with me and sending me messages, I think the first people who actually started to follow my series, like properly following it, to see what the next one is and to know more about what I'm doing, started with the Sunrider series. So no matter what happens in the next few years, Sunrider will always have a very special place in my heart. So thank you so much for being here. It's such a beautiful game. It's such an inspiring story. It makes you ask lots of deep questions. It has some fantastic characters that you can't help but fall in love with. And who knows? Maybe next time we'll actually be able to save the galaxy. As, you know, demons from the past with super technology rocket through our lives. And apparently Ava's going to go try and find us a new ship. I can't wait to see what that's going to be. But you know what? We'll have to just wait until then. So thank you for being a part of this channel. Thank you for being here. You're the ones that make it so fantastic. And until the next video you watch with me, or whatever you have to see me in next, I'll see you there.